Alrighty guys, welcome to another video. Haven't uploaded in a while and I do apologize for not uploading, but let's get into the video topic today. So today I'm going to go over how to set up your nutrition or diet plan and then just like the easiest way to do it. We're going to go through 4 steps. Okay, so the first step is to establish your TDEE. So your TDEE is your total daily energy expenditure. So this varies from day to day. It's never the same. It's gonna change, especially once you lose weight. You weigh less, so you'll burn less calories. And there's a few different things that go into that, but basically it's the calories that you burn throughout the whole day. So there's a few different ways you can do this. So you could, the first way I would recommend doing it is just going to, there's a few different equations you can do, like the Mueller equation, but I mean, if you're not that great at math, you could always go to a website. I usually use IIFYM. I'll have it linked in the description so you guys can kind of have a rough estimation on where you land as far as calories you burn throughout the day. So at maintenance, so just doing your normal workouts and normal everyday activity. So once you've established how many calories you burn in a day, you would then go on to establishing a deficit. So it's important to also weigh yourself minimum 3 times a week. I like to do a 3-day average because I wake up at different times every day, but you could always do a 7-day average if you wake up at the same time every day. So once you do that and you get a consistent weigh-in of, let's say, 200 pounds, then you can go ahead and, if you want to lose body fat, you're going to establish a deficit. Now, depending on how fast you want to lose the weight, you'll just establish that deficit. So I usually don't go too aggressive. I like to go maybe 150 calories to 200 calories in a deficit per day. So I'll lose like about half a pound a week. Just depends on how much I'm moving and what kind of workouts I'm doing, how much cardio I want to put into the routine. So you're gonna establish that deficit. Now I recommend having an end date to your diet and also trying not to change it as much as possible and trying to keep it the same the whole time, so you're not having all these factors that are going to be influencing your fat loss throughout the whole time. Okay, so if you want to do like a 12-week diet, do that 12-week diet and then have a plan after. Okay, that's very important to have a plan after. A lot of people kind of just see it as, oh, I'm just gonna diet and then this is the day I can just kind of go crazy. So it's important to increase your calories and have a plan for after. So that would be the third step, kind of went into it, but it'll be have a timeline. So if you want to do 12 weeks, you can aim to lose half a pound to a pound a week, or you can do something more aggressive where you do 2 pounds a week. It just depends on how much fat you want to lose, how much, let's say you were at 30% body fat, you might lose 2 to 3 pounds per week. It just depends on the person. So it's very individual, and definitely depends on also how much of a deficit you want to be in. It is harder to be on a lower deficit because you won't be eating as much. Your workouts definitely won't be as good as they used to be, just because you're not eating as much. Okay. And the last one is the reverse diet. So this one's it is highly debated. It basically, what the reverse diet is slowly implementing calories after you are done dieting. Now you can always just start increasing right away, like 50 calories each week, which is like something that I do with my clients. Or you could do an initial bump of how much you predict that your maintenance is. Like say if you're at a 250 calorie deficit, maybe if you predicted that you're losing a certain amount, you could just take that difference and add it to your calories for the day, and start there. And that's usually kind of where people were at. Or you could just start slow. If you feel comfortable on that deficit and you haven't been doing it for a while, you can go up slow. But basically this is to kind of prevent any kind of binge eating. When you go off of, when you've been on a diet for a long time, it is very easy to kind of go kind of crazy. So it's important to prevent any kind of binge eating and trying to have a healthy transition. A lot of people tend not to do this, but this is actually one of the ways that you could prevent any kind of binge eating and stuff like that. So you could actually put more mass on, put more body fat on, but at a slower rate so you don't gain it as fast. So it's kind of a more healthier way of reverse dieting. And also what reverse dieting allows you to do is to hit a maintenance level. You are going to be probably a few pounds heavier, 5-10 pounds heavier depending how much weight you lose. Let's say you lose 20-30 pounds and you gain 5 back or 10 back. That's not bad, considering the amount of body fat that you lost. Because at the end of the day, it's important to not go into your old habits and to have a steady calorie intake that you're okay with eating every day, and that you're not stressing out about food. So if you're always constantly thinking about food, you're gonna be not thinking about whatever you have at hand. So say if you're in school, you're doing homework or studying for a test, or you're at work and you need to focus on your work at hand, or you're with if I'm with a client and I'm just like thinking about my next meal, that's gonna affect quality at work or school. So it's very important to, like I said, have a timeline, have an end date, and a plan to do after the end date. So to kind of recap everything here, so you want to establish how many calories you burn per day, and how much calories you need to maintain your body weight. After that, you can manipulate it as you want. Okay. The second thing would be to establish a deficit. Now, depending on how aggressive you want to be, you can go 150 calories, 200 calories. You can do, if you want to lose 1 pound to 2 pounds a week, you can go 500. I wouldn't recommend going past a 500 calorie per day deficit, because it does kind of dawn on you after a while, and you definitely do tire out. But you just want to establish a healthy deficit that you can stick to for the timeline that you set up. Okay. The third thing is establish a timeline. Okay. A lot of people kind of go into a diet, and something I did this summer, I kind of went into a diet and I did it for 12 weeks, lost about 15 pounds, and then I was like, well, I want to get leaner, and I didn't really see the effect on my health after that, and I just kind of went into it. I didn't know that dieting does take a really big toll on your body and being in a deficit. So it's important to have a plan, and have a plan after the diet, before you even start the diet. Okay, have a plan set up, and not be too strict with it. It will change. And the last one is this reverse diet. Okay, and that's slowly implementing calories back into your diet, maybe 50 a week, which is like pretty low. You could either I like to add carbs in, but if you like a higher fat diet, you could always add some fats in. But I like to add carbs, so I'd like 10 carbs, 10 to 15 carbs, depending on the person. If they're smaller, I'd less. If they're a bigger person, I'll add a little more. And a lot of times you just start to move more. Depending on the individual, they'll either gain it very slowly, or they just will kind of not gain it as much. So it just depends on that specific individual, and how much they move as a result of the extra calories. So that's gonna be all for today, guys. I hope this helped you guys out. When it comes down to dieting, there's a lot of factors to it. It's not just one-sided. There's many diets that work, but with any diet, this is kind of the overall plan. No matter what kind of foods you eat, if you're vegan, vegetarian, if you do flexible dieting, which is something I do, it's really individual, whatever works for the person. So if you personally need help with setting up your diet plan, let me know. You could always email me questions. I have my email in the description box. I'm happy to help. And yeah, that's the whole goal of these videos, just to help you guys establish a healthy diet plan, something that you could stick to and adhere to in the long term, right? Because a lot of people lose weight, but they don't keep it off. So it's important to have a sustainable way of losing weight, and then have a game plan after. Most important things. All right, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video.